All right, and one more error that I want to handle is the unique error. So I already registered John with john@gmail.com. So even if I'll change here around the name and I'll say Peter, but if I'll still use the same name, I should get back the error. Now, at the moment, the error is going to be generic, correct? We'll have something went wrong, try again later, and again, the response is 500 because we're not checking for that in the error handler. So let's navigate back, and I'm fully aware that some people might find this annoying, but in my case, I will uncomment my entire error response and I'll comment out the default error. And don't worry, we won't be doing that in every video. So let me send back, and what you'll notice is the error object. However, in this case, there is a code property. So this is what we're getting back. We're getting back a error object with a code property, and the value is this one. So we have 1, 1, and then 3 zeros. So when it comes to our condition, we'll actually check for the code property and whether the value is equal to this. Now that's going to be the condition. Inside of the condition, instead of object values, we'll use object keys and we'll pass in the error and then key value. So this is going to be an object. And then in there, I just want to access the properties that the object has because I want to send back such and such property has to be unique. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. And just like with object.values, if you need a refresher on object.keys, the MD docs is a very good place to start. So let's navigate back. And like I said, the first thing we want to do is set up the condition where again, there is a error object. Now inside of that error object, there might be a code property. And if it exists, then I want to check whether the value for that property is 11 and then 3 zeros. So let's go here with error code. And if that is equal to 1, 1 and then 3 zeros. If this is the case, well, first, again, let's set up the proper status code, which is going to be 400 like so. So in this case, we can just copy and paste. And then the second thing, let's set up the message. So say here default error and message is equal to. Now, first, I want to set up the template string. That's number 1. And then I'll say field has to be unique. Now, which field am I talking about? Well, like I said, we'll use object keys. And in order to do that, we'll have to set up our interpolation here. And we'll use object, then keys. And then let's pass in the error. That's the entire error object that we have. And then more specifically, I'm looking for this key value. So let's go here and let's say key and then value. That's the object that I want to pass in. And once I save, which you'll notice, if we go back to the postman and if we send, and of course, nothing changed because I should comment out the first one and then uncomment the second one where we have the default error message. And now you'll notice that email field has to be unique. Now, there is a space missing. So once we add this one, everything should be correct. So if the user is going to try to register with an email that is already in use, then we'll send back the 400 response with a message email field has to be unique.